Even for the most experienced driver, starting a trucking company isn't always easy. There's a lot to consider, from the freight you want to haul to what equipment you need to the regulations you need to follow. If you're a company driver who's interested in becoming an owner-operator, review our 7 tips on how to start a trucking business to help you begin. It's a good idea to have a business plan in place before you start a trucking company. This will help you understand what to expect as an owner-operator and how much it can cost to start a trucking business. As you put together a trucking company checklist, think about where you plan to run your business, how often you want to get home, what your weekly revenue goals are, what your business's expected expenses are, how you are going to get loads, what business structure you'd like to follow. As an owner-operator, you can choose to lease on with a carrier and run under their authority, or you can decide to operate under your own authority. The route you choose will dictate a few things for your business, including compliance requirements you'll have to follow and how you will get your loads. Owner-operators who run under their own authority may work with freight brokers to help them find freight or use public load boards to gain access to the spot market. Owner-operators who lease on with a carrier like Schneider do business with the carrier as independent contractors and are not employees of the carrier. Usually this means the owner-operator can select freight from the carrier's private load board. There are many opportunities available to owner-operators when it comes to deciding what freight they want to haul. When you're starting a trucking company checklist, consider these different freight options and think about the following. Whatever freight you decide to haul, make sure it's a good fit for you and your business. The way you run your business and what type of freight you haul can affect what kind of insurance you need to obtain. When you operate under your own authority, you are responsible for covering all your insurance needs. Insurance requirements can vary depending on what you haul. For example, owner-operators who move hazardous materials need extra insurance coverage. When you lease on with a motor carrier, the carrier will most likely provide some of the insurance coverage. The owner-operator may still be responsible for or may want to get the following. You can go to the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration website for more information on insurance filing requirements. As an owner-operator, your semi-truck is your business's biggest asset. You can get equipment by buying a used truck from somewhere like Schneider Trucks, leasing a new or used truck from a place like SFI Trucks and Financing, or purchasing a brand new truck from a dealership. Equipment considerations include things like sleeper and day cabs, van trailers, tanker trailers, flatbed trailers, and curtain-side trailers. Trucking companies that operate under their own authority and haul goods across state lines are required to get a USDOT number according to federal regulations. However, some states require intrastate motor carriers to have a USDOT number as well. In general, most trucking companies that travel across state lines are also required to have motor carrier authority in addition to a USDOT number, according to the FMCSA. When you lease your business to a carrier, you run under its authority. That means you can operate under the carrier's MC and USDOT numbers. Once you have your operating authority and USDOT number, you need to complete, among other items, what you see here. If you operate in more than one state, you also need to get an International Fuel Tax Agreement account. You can apply for an IFTA account through your base jurisdiction. If you do business with a carrier and operate under its USDOT number and authority, the carrier may take care of some of the registration filings for you. We hope this video gave you some things to think about as you look to start a trucking business. For more owner-operator tips and to learn more about how to lease on with Schneider, head over to SchneiderOwneroperators.com.